When Caitlin Clark appeared on national television for the first time as an NBA analyst, she delivered something that hadn't been seen in over 2 decades. She shattered expectations, earned rave reviews from NBC sports executives, and put up numbers so unprecedented that broadcasters are already talking about changing how they approach coverage. At the same time, the WNBA Players Association is hurting its own league with poor negotiations, creating a stark contrast between a rising star making history and a system struggling to keep up. If you're proud of Caitlin, drop CC Record Breaker in the comments and hit like.
So the numbers have shown up for Caitlin Clark's debut as an analyst on NBC, and the numbers are ridiculous, man. They ended up dropping the viewership for that game, and this is what it said, man. Sunday nights on NBC are just meant for sports. The network aired the first 2 games of its Sunday night basketball franchise last weekend, and doubleheader delivered record-setting viewership.
Something special happened at Madison Square Garden that night, and it wasn't just the Lakers and Knicks warming up. Caitlin Clark stepped onto NBC's NBA Basketball Night in America set alongside Reggie Miller, Carmelo Anthony, and Maria Taylor, and it was clear from the first moment that this wasn't a typical guest appearance. The chemistry felt instant and natural. Clark didn't try to blend into their world. She created her own space on live television. Sitting comfortably between 2 NBA legends, her confidence and natural charisma stood out immediately, and even the production team could sense they were witnessing the start of something big.
It's a different type of buzz, and obviously when LeBron comes to town, it's probably real different, but, you know, Knicks fans are crazy, and I love it. I love people who are passionate about basketball, so it's pretty incredible.
Yeah, you kind of know the inside and out a little bit, Reggie. You've stolen their souls and their hearts with the Knicks fans. You see it? You see how he's kind of like smirking.
But listen, first of all, there's a new shooter from Indiana. See, I'm the 3rd best shooter in the state of Indiana now. Okay. It goes Caitlin, Tyrese, and now myself.
We'll have to get Tyrese's opinion on that.
Clark's basketball IQ showed in every exchange. When she broke down player movement and game strategy, even Reggie Miller and Carmelo Anthony were nodding along like they were picking up something new. She didn't stick to surface-level takes either. She went deep into defensive schemes and offensive sets with the kind of detail that impressed veteran analysts. The horse segment with Jamal Crawford became the moment everyone talked about. Clark won 2 of the 3 rounds, casually drilling threes in what looked like business attire, while Crawford struggled to keep pace, sending the crowd into a frenzy with every shot.
You like to double down? Okay. Goodness.
All right.
Okay. One leg.
Our game.
In it.
Short.
Yeah, all right.
Surely good.
Yeah, you're all right.
And B.
That looks good too. Right.
Okay. Okay, well, here comes B.
All right. All right. B, here we go.
Boom.
All right, let's end it.
And your roll.
Oh! Good job.
Great job. Way to hoop.
That was fun.
Her humor felt natural, not scripted. The jokes about Peyton Pritchard and logo threes had everyone laughing, even the crew behind the cameras. Clark later joked on social media about wearing stilts next time after poking fun at the height difference between herself, Reggie Miller, and Carmelo Anthony. That kind of self-deprecating wit showed she wasn't trying too hard to impress anyone. She was just being herself, and it landed perfectly.
Because one of the things he said was like, I'm thinking in my mind, let me be quiet. Have you gone into a big game with literally that on your mind, like walking into the arena?
Well, I feel fortunate enough. A lot of the arenas we go into, a lot of people are cheering for our team, which is pretty nice.
NBC executives were locked in, watching every moment closely. This no longer felt like a one-off guest spot. It felt like an audition for something much bigger. Producers in the background were taking notes and making calls, and the energy in the studio was electric. Everyone could sense they were witnessing something unprecedented in real time.
The other night when Caitlin Clark joined the pregame for NBC, we're getting a lot more of her.
Yeah, I mean, look, she's spoken for Xfinity, and so already part of the Comcast family. We brought her through that, overall deal. and I think she had a good time. She played horse with Jamal the other night, which I think was a fun little segment. And for everything I understand, she enjoyed being on TV with our crew and hope to do it again soon.
Her composure under pressure impressed everyone in the studio. Clark handled live television like a seasoned pro, never stumbling over her words or looking nervous. Even when technical issues popped up or segments ran long, she adapted effortlessly. NBC sports executives later said she checked every box they were hoping for, and conversations about bringing her back started immediately behind closed doors. The network was already thinking ahead about future broadcasts with her involved, knowing they'd found something special that could reshape their basketball coverage. And the real surprise was still to come when the viewership numbers arrived the next morning.
Cordella spoke positively about Clark's debut, noting that she did a good job and handled the role with ease. He highlighted her understanding of the game and her ability to communicate clearly, two qualities that translate well from the court to the broadcast booth. Cordella also made it clear that Clark was well prepared and comfortable in the setting, something that stood out given the size of the audience and the spotlight that comes with an NBA national broadcast.
The numbers that came in the next day shattered a record that hadn't been touched in NBA television history. When NBC executives reviewed the viewership data, it defied everything they thought they knew about basketball broadcasts. The Lakers-Knicks doubleheader pulled in 4.5 million viewers across NBC and Telemundo, making it the most watched Sunday regular season NBA game since 2002. That means more than 2 decades of broadcasts were surpassed the moment Clark made her debut.
Set in viewership. Sunday night's first game between the Los Angeles Lakers and the New York Knicks from Madison Square Garden averaged 4.5 million viewers across NBC and Telemundo. Oh my goodness, 4.5? Making it the most watched Sunday night regular season game since 2002. Oh my goodness, excluding Christmas Day.
Shocked everyone at NBC. The pre-game show actually pulled higher ratings than the game itself for the first time in NBA broadcasting history. Network executives were calling each other asking if the data was correct. Pre-game coverage never outdraws the actual basketball game. That just doesn't happen in sports television. People were tuning in specifically to watch Clark analyze basketball, then staying to watch the actual game because she had them hooked. NBC's internal tracking showed viewers switching channels the moment Clark appeared on screen. They weren't channel surfing anymore. They were locked in from the opening segment through the final buzzer.
With all that, still 4.5 million? Man, her motion is ridiculous, fam. It's ridiculous. I mean, I remember literally announcing what was going on and showing the videos of what was going on, and people were in the comment section literally telling me, look, I went for Caitlin, but I ended up staying watching the game a little bit. And I think somebody actually said that was their first NBA game that they watched.
Here's the part that stunned everyone at NBC. For the first time in NBA broadcast history, the pregame show pulled higher ratings than the actual game. Executives were calling each other to double-check the data because that simply doesn't happen in sports television. Viewers were tuning in specifically to watch Clark break down the game, then staying for the matchup because she had them hooked. NBC's internal tracking showed audiences locking in the moment she appeared on screen. No more channel surfing, just attention from the opening segment to the final buzzer.
Hey man, Caitlin motion is ridiculous. Anything she puts her hand on, it turns to gold. Crazy work. It's crazy work, man. And I've never seen this for women's basketball. And this actually goes back to where the NBA was saying they needed Caitlin Clark to come over and shoot in the three-point contest, or at least have that contest against Stephen Curry, because they need her. They need her, man. Their numbers has been dwindling as well. So I can imagine they're thinking like, hey, look, we have a hot commodity. Let's get her over and let's get some viewership going for the All-Star weekend.
The viewership surge happened the moment Clark stepped on screen. NBC's internal data revealed audience retention rates they had never seen for pregame coverage. Normally, viewers tune out during analyst segments or switch channels until tip-off, but Clark kept everyone glued to their TVs for the entire broadcast. Executives scrambled to analyze the demographics, discovering she was attracting audiences who normally wouldn't watch NBA games, creating a crossover audience networks dream of. Women viewers spiked. Young fans who usually watch highlights on social media were tuning in to full broadcasts, and the numbers shattered every expectation. NBC had planned for solid ratings based on the Lakers-Knicks matchup, but Clark's debut pushed viewership to levels usually reserved for championship games.
Forget Tiger, forget Jordan. When it comes to boosting TV viewership, Caitlin Clark is the GOAT. When Tiger Woods won his first Masters, audiences jumped 63% from the year before. When Michael Jordan returned to basketball, viewership jumped 200% from a week before. When Caitlin Clark played in her second NCAA final, viewership nearly quadrupled from 2 years before. As Clark is also elevating her sport as a whole. The NBA and pro golf were already popular when Jordan and Tiger came along, but Caitlin Clark has reset the expectation for what women's basketball can do.
Executives immediately started making calls. If Clark could generate these numbers as a guest, imagine what she could do as a regular contributor. NBC Sports President Rick Cordella confirmed she checked every box, and the network was already planning future broadcasts with her. The appearance became the highest-rated NBA game of the season, excluding opening night and Christmas, showing that Clark's appeal extended far beyond women's basketball. She had officially crossed into mainstream sports media, making television history. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, another story was unfolding that highlighted a very different reality of leadership in women's basketball.
Our CBA is so dumb right now that like it's heading towards lockout though.
So no progress.
No.
Like just none.
Honestly, nothing. We get like weekly emails from the PA side of things, and it's just so dumb.
Yeah.
Dumb.
While Clark was breaking records and earning rave reviews from network executives, the WNBA Players Association was mishandling what could have been the league's biggest financial opportunity. The contrast was striking. Clark was generating millions of viewers and receiving offers from major networks, while veteran union leaders fumbled negotiations that should have been slam dunks. The CBA talks, meant to celebrate the league's growth, instead became a complete mess, with Sophie Cunningham calling the process a total disaster. What should have capitalized on the popularity surge Clark created ended up being a cautionary tale in leadership gone wrong.
Cunningham said in a podcast previously, she sees the conflict of interest between Nafisa Collier, Breanna Stewart, and the WNBA. She sees the conflict of interest. So what are you doing to circumvent that conflict and actually get some of the real facts, some of the real truths that could be taking place?
The veteran players leading these negotiations spent 2 seasons trying to downplay Clark's impact, and now they're mishandling the very financial windfall her popularity created. They dismissed her fans as bandwagon jumpers and questioned whether her success was real or media hype. For months, they argued that the league's growth had nothing to do with one star from Iowa. Meanwhile, Breanna Stewart and Nafisa Collier sit at the negotiating table while running rival leagues like Unrivaled, creating clear conflicts of interest. How can they negotiate in good faith for WNBA players while simultaneously building their own competing empires? Their actions show a stark disconnect between leadership and the players they claim to represent.
Best WNBA Player Award.
Ooh. Yeah.
I'm going to let you guys know now who won.
Okay.
Drum roll.
Okay.
And the winner is Caitlin Clark, ladies and gentlemen.
These same veteran players criticized the new fans Clark brought to the league, then acted surprised when those fans sided against them during contract talks. They told her supporters they weren't real basketball fans and insisted newcomers had to earn their respect, gatekeeping the sport like it was some exclusive club instead of entertainment that relies on viewers. Meanwhile, the union continues pushing unrealistic revenue-sharing models while Clark is actually generating the revenue. They demand massive salary increases based on the popularity they actively tried to undermine. Clark is creating the value, yet veteran leadership wants credit for growth they opposed from the start.
Caitlin Clark is like one of the most talented women basketball players in the history of the country. She comes on, she does amazing things, and then people say people say all of a sudden I'm now interested in something I wasn't before. Look at the attendance, look at the viewership, and then they watch the games, and she's constantly being abused. She was stabbed in the eye last night
with no whistle. 100% she intentionally poked Caitlin Clark.
Fans are watching Clark succeed in every arena she enters, while veteran players struggle to negotiate a contract without creating drama and division. She transitions seamlessly from basketball to broadcasting, handling pressure with grace and professionalism. Meanwhile, union leaders leak complaints to reporters and generate unnecessary conflict. The old guard spent so much energy trying to erase Clark from the WNBA narrative that they forgot how to actually grow the league. Focused on protecting their own status, they missed the biggest opportunity in women's sports history. Clark's optimism and ability to get deals done stand in stark contrast to the chaos and incompetence displayed by the players' union. The jealousy and gatekeeping that once held her back now only highlight what they've been blocking all along.
God gave you a person, and now you're rejecting it. Y'all should be like Caesar. Appreciate you, Caitlin. Thank you. I can eat a little bit better. She got paid this. She get a signature shoe. Hey, I'm a 2-time MVP, a champion. The fact that there's this much animosity about the person that's feeding you. And I'm going to say it just like she's feeding y'all doors that y'all didn't do. So to be honest, shut up. Because y'all couldn't do it. Just accept it and benefit. Be happy.
The contrast couldn't be clearer between Clark's professional success and the self-destructive behavior of veteran players. While Clark is hitting logo threes on national television and receiving offers from major networks, the old guard is busy sabotaging the league's future. Clark breaks records at NBC studios, while veteran players undermine contract negotiations that should capitalize on her popularity. Young teammates like Lexi Hull, Aaliyah Boston, Sophie Cunningham, Kelsey Mitchell, and Kelsey Mitchell watch their star open doors for everyone, while veteran leaders slam those same doors shut. They see Clark succeeding at every stage, bringing millions of new fans to women's basketball and attracting networks eager to book her, while the union tells those same fans they don't belong.
To the future, what would you like to see happen as you come to a negotiation?
Well, honestly, I don't think it's just a big moment for the WNBA. I think all of women's sports, I think this is one of the biggest moments we've ever had. So, I feel very confident that we're going to get something done, and that's because we're in this moment because of the product we put on the floor. So we need to be able to continue to do that, and I know everybody's working really hard. There's a meeting tomorrow that's super important, and I truly do believe we're going to get something done here in the next couple of weeks. Like you said, there's a lot of boxes that we still need to check. We've added two new teams. There's going to be more players than ever, and then we have to get into free agency. Then had a normal draft as well. So there's a lot of things left to do, but I really do feel confident that both sides are going to reach a deal here soon.
Fan backlash against the players' union leadership is growing every day as the contrast between Clark's professionalism and the union's chaos becomes impossible to ignore. Social media is flooded with supporters calling out veteran players for jealousy and incompetence. Clark brings positivity and success wherever she goes, while the old guard brings drama and dysfunction. She called the CBA negotiations one of the biggest moments in women's sports history, showing leadership and vision that union leaders lack. Clark recognizes the massive opportunity to transform women's basketball into a billion-dollar industry, while veteran players remain focused only on their paychecks and personal grievances.
For April 13th, but the growth of the league has been so much. Can you just help us to understand the transition this league is going on right now?
It's incredible, and I remember my first WNBA game when I was a young girl. I went to the Minnesota Lynx when they had their dynasty with Maya Moore, and they're playing the Seattle Storm, and now basically any arena you go to, it's sold out. We're adding 2 teams. We're up to 14 now, and then hopefully getting to 18 in the next couple years. So, business is booming, and that's a really good thing. And we kind of just got to keep meeting the moment. The talent's getting better and better. You see it at the college level coming into the professional game too. So I feel very fortunate, and hopefully I have a long career ahead of me as well.
Every opportunity Clark creates is undermined by veteran players who expect credit for the popularity they actively tried to block. Clark builds bridges with new fans, while the old guard burns them down. She opens doors to television deals and sponsorships, while veterans complain about not getting recognition for growth they opposed. The numbers don't lie. Clark is bringing in millions of viewers and dollars, while the old guard argues over revenue they didn't generate. NBC executives see viewership spikes the moment she appears on screen, and crossover audiences veteran players never attracted, clearly showing who deserves credit for women's basketball's recent success.
An average NBA regular season game gets 1.5 million viewers. When Caitlin Clark entered the mix, it not only doubled, but tripled the viewership. Just like when she got injured in the WNBA, It took away half their audience. Trust me, we've got past it. It's not because she's white. There's been a lot of white athletes that have been good at sports that don't get the coverage that Caitlin Clark gets. It's because she is different.
NBC executives are already planning more appearances for Clark because she delivers results, not drama like the jealous veterans. Network leaders are making calls about expanded roles in future broadcasts featuring her, while veteran players waste time complaining about negotiations they are mishandling themselves. The old guard is being exposed as obstacles to growth rather than leaders of change. Meanwhile, Clark continues proving she's the undisputed face of basketball's future, accomplishing in one night what veteran players couldn't achieve in multiple seasons. Her NBC triumph highlights everything the old guard failed to deliver, despite having years to build the league's profile and popularity. Clark's historic NBC debut proves she succeeds in every arena she enters, while the Players Association leadership continues to fumble the opportunities her success creates. She breaks television records and earns rave reviews from network executives, even as veteran players undermine contract negotiations that should capitalize on her popularity. The choice is clear. Support the new guard, bringing millions of fans and dollars to women's basketball, or watch the old guard destroy the league's best chance at $1 billion future. Clark generates viewership and revenue. Veteran players generate drama and division. Clark and her Fever teammates are building something special for 2026, while jealous veterans tear down everything she's accomplished. If you're proud of Caitlin, comment CC Record Breaker, like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss out.